Hey, Pardon My Take listeners, you can find every episode on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music. On today's Pardon My Take, we got a twofer. We got Warren Sharp talking NFL, and then Buster, the man who invented Dave & Buster's. It is Buster from Dave & Buster's. We also have NFL Weekend Preview, Fyre Fest of the Week, Cant Lose Parlay, Billy's Parlays, whatever. Great show. And we have Buster. Literally, Buster is on the show, and we're going to do it all in a second. We're brought to you by the Cash App. Not only is it the easiest place to send money to your friends, it's the safest. And today, we are playing Among Us on Twitch. Me, PFT, and Hank, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central. 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central. We're doing it for a good cause. We're raising money for the ASPCA. Any donations can be sent to our cash tag, Pardon My Take. And the best part is the Cash App is going to be giving away money in the chat to the AWLs. To get your cash tags ready and tune into twitch.tv/Cash App. Yes, Hank?
We're on the Cash App stream, not the Pardon My Take.
Cash App stream. We'll tweet it out. We'll Instagram it. We'll do everything. But make sure you tune in twitch.tv/Cash App. Watch us play Among Us with 10 of the best Among Us players in the world, including Trainwreck. And you need to download the Cash App right now because they're going to give away money for free. So download the Cash App, enter the refer code Barstool. You get $10 for free, $10 to the ASPCA, all when you download it. Do it. The Cash App is the best place to do it. Do it to it. Cash App, twitch.tv/Cash App. Okay, let's go.
It's Pardon My Take, presented by Barstool Sports.
Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by the Cash App. Tune in today. We are playing 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central on twitch.tv/Cash App. The whole crew, we're playing Among Us. It's going to be great. Twitch.tv/Cash App. Also, they're going to give away free money in the chat, so go download the Cash App right now and watch us, twitch.tv/Cash App at 4 o'clock today, Eastern. Today is Friday, November 20th, and the Seahawks defense is back / Kyler Murray is injured.
What we saw today was what we've been waiting for the entire season.
Did they turn a corner?
They flipped the switch, I was going to say. They either turned a corner or flipped the switch. I'm not sure which one. It might just be the uniforms. More than likely, it's because they got Dunlap rushing the passer.
And they cheated because Dunlap's wearing number 43.
Yeah, and he looks like a running back.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, but it's like when you watch a college player, like Jadeveon Clowney in college. I was like, that guy's not going to be good at the next level because he wears number 2.
Yeah,
I was right. He's not good anymore.
Mm-hmm. But yes, this was a. I wouldn't say it was a full-on Seahawks weird game.
No. Let's give credit. The Seahawks did not play a weird game for the first time in primetime in as long as I've been watching football.
It was more of a. I think we're right that Cliff Kingsbury's kind of a mimbo. I don't really understand what Cliff Kingsbury was doing at the end of the game. I don't know why they were throwing to the end zone like 3 times in a row when all they needed was to just keep moving. Like, they had enough time.
Well, it's because Cliff Kingsbury is a membo, and he remembers what happened last week, and he's like, let's just keep doing that.
Yeah, let's actually move back and try to get a Hail Mary. But, the Seahawks had, like, a decent game. They ran the ball okay. I mean, neither defense is, like, great. But it feels like this was more of a must-win for the Seahawks, and they answered the bell. Didn't lose 3 in a row. Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll in their their time together are now 8-0 after 2 losses. So they've never lost 3 in a row.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's a fun stat.
That stat is alive, and that's also a mark of a really good football team, really good coach football team, and a really good quarterback. I'm not going to say. Do you think Russell Wilson's MVP back on? No. 197 yards.
Wilson is what
He
I'm
did run the
calling.
ball for 165 yards.
Yeah, I think that he had a good game for sure, and he should have had that second touchdown to DK Metcalf. JPP Metcalf is what Minier's calling because his hands not great.
Right in the face.
Yeah, right in the face
Hit
on
him right
that
in the
second
face.
one. But the first one, to his credit, had a nice touchdown catch, and then he drew an assault. That was an all-time boneheaded play.
All-time.
On fourth down, just like taking a swing at deep. Forget about the situational awareness in the game of it being 4th and 1, but if you try to fight DK Metcalf, you should be suspended just for your own health.
Yes.
Because you need to get your brain examined at that point.
Yes, I agree. He's a scary big dude who's very, very muscular. But, so Seahawks back on track. Cardinals, I don't know what... Kyler Murray, he definitely wasn't healthy. His shoulder looked like it was bothering him all night. And Kyler Murray, we've said this before, but Kyler Murray is the type of guy that when it's not working, he is just short.
Yes.
And tonight he was short.
I think he was definitely hurt. They were shoving ice packs.
He wasn't terrible. It just
which is never a good sign for a quarterback.
Yeah,
he wasn't bad, but against that Seahawks defense,
you expect more.
You got to eat a little bit if you're Kyler Murray.
Right.
I got a dumb question. Does Russell Wilson have a specific holder for his mouthpiece inside of the top of his face guard?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is that customized? Because it's always in the exact same spot. He puts it in, then he takes it out a second before the snap happens.
A little cup holder.
My second hot take was I don't think that quarterbacks with visors will win a Super Bowl ever.
Has a quarterback with a visor won a Super Bowl ever?
I feel Billy, you played quarterback
Joe Flacco
in high school.
Did not wear. Nick
it
Foles had that visor for a day,
and he was good.
Tinted or untinted?
Either way, I feel like it gets smudgy, right? It definitely gets smudgy.
It's a weird look. Did Cam Newton have a visor in the Super Bowl?
Yes, he did.
Business.
He had a clear visor.
He lost.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
He 100% had a visor.
Yeah,
he's a visor.
I think you're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, should we talk a little real quick NBA draft? I'm about to sneeze, but I'm going to hold it back.
No, you're not. God bless you.
I got it. I held my sneeze back. Anthony Edwards.
I retract my God bless you.
Now, we're going to talk about some fake news on the other side of this ad coming up with Jason McIntyre and Joe Judge, but that story that Anthony Edwards brought his own food to Benihana was hilarious. Also, all-time weird interview for Anthony Edwards to be like, yeah, I actually like football more because you can celebrate and stuff.
But I like that. I actually like the answer.
Honest.
It tells me that he's smart, that he likes football more.
He's a football guy.
It's also never set expectations too high.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
if things go wrong, he set himself up perfectly.
Congrats, Big Cat. You didn't get Obi Toppin, but you got a flower delivery guy, which is pretty cool.
Yep. No, the Bears. You got the Bulls. I almost
you
said
got
the Bears.
The sixth best player on a bad college team.
No, the Bulls are so used to. No, the Florida State was okay.
If any of your teammates want to know how to do flowers, he's the guy.
Bulls are so good.
If anyone dies on the Bulls next year, they'll have a great spread. A nice bouquet.
He's like the guy from the town. That guy was a badass.
Florist?
The florist, yes.
So he's going to give heroin to everybody on the
Correct.
Clipped your daddies.
If he does it to the opponents, we might have a chance. No, the Bulls are so good at drafting 7, they just took what they thought was like the 7th best player at 4.
Yep.
But I'm not. You can't be a Fire Garpax guy and then immediately trash the new front office.
And then Klay Thompson, unfortunately, looks like he has an Achilles injury, as first reported on Twitter many times by Hank. Hank was very excited to break that news.
Yeah, I got a news breaking rush. Hand up. It happened on this show before. It was because we were mid-recording of the podcast, and I got a random text, so it was like kind of a joke with the people in the room where I was like, "Oh, breaking news, guys!" And then I read it, and it was like, "Should we tweet it?" It was like, "Sure, let's tweet it. Let's see if it, let's tweet it from the Fantasy Podcast." And then Shams tweeted it like a minute later, so I was like, "Oh shit, we were on it." Turns out it was his Achilles, not his ACL. So I'm sorry, and I hope for the best for Klay Thompson.
Yeah, unless you can get clout from tweeting out another injury of his, in which case you'll do that.
Yeah.
No, see, that's the thing. It was you guys know the news breaking high.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a very very real thing. Wow, this is sad.
No,
this is honestly sad. This is like you guys.
He did it on his other podcast.
It was my dog.
This is like
Hank. It wasn't you.
But before Leroy broke news, we used to break news as a unit. You guys were the ones that got me. You guys were the ones that gave me my first.
Nah,
news
we put the
breaking
spike
high.
in you.
Yes.
All right. Well, if you want to, you can have Norm's Dick have its own Twitter account. And it actually
but the rules talking about that dog's penis are so confusing.
That dog's dick is the most off-limit dog dick in the history of dog dicks.
Next thing you know, we're selling posters.
It would be very funny though
Sweatshirts coming soon.
If Adam Schefter had to say like as first reported by Norm, Hank's dog's dick.
No.
Yeah.
Norman's dick.
Norman's penis.
He can never fill the shoes.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Just let me know what the rules are. Okay. Anything else? LaMelo Ball. What? Oh, that is awkward that he's going to Charlotte and LeVar Ball so that he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one.
I mean, they got to play one-on-one.
They have to play one-on-one. And Michael Jordan will make LeVar Ball cry. And yeah, that's Obi Toppin. I am a little sad, but whatever. He's also like 22. That's what you can do to yourself. You can just say that.
I might start watching the Knicks again.
Oh, look at you. Look at you, Billy. Billy
Seriously,
Roundball.
like, they were unwashable.
Billy Roundball. Fairweather fan.
Maybe we can get him in the studio.
New York sports fan.
I bet you Obi Toppin would come in for a podcast.
Yeah. He's about your age.
That's true. We can go out together. Me and Obi hitting the clubs.
All right.
Duke's girlfriend.
Let's do the weekend preview. We got a quick word from our friends Elijah Craig before we do that.
I got big plans this weekend, and a big part of those plans involves sitting on my couch and drinking Elijah Craig. I love Elijah Craig, whether it's their small batch bourbon, whether it's the barrel proof bourbon. There's greatness within every single expression of Elijah Craig Kentucky bourbon whiskey. I'm a whiskey guy. I love whiskey. It's basically the only liquor that I drink anymore. I like it on the rocks sometimes. I like it neat if it's some of the barrel proof, a little splash of water to set it off. Or I like drinking a Manhattan. Just mix in some vermouth, add a couple Luxardo cherries, a dash of bitters, you're good to go. I'm a cocktail guy. I like drinking cocktails on my couch. Doesn't fill you up, makes you feel great. And Elijah Craig is the best whiskey in America. I love it so much. We're almost halfway. Well, we're over halfway through the NFL season. And if you drafted some certain guys on your team, I'm not going to name names.
Don't do it.
Some people have been underperforming on your fantasy football roster, and you're probably needing to take the edge off a little bit. Best way to do that is with a little bit of Elijah Craig. Or you might want to celebrate. Maybe you got Baby Braun, DK Metcalf on your team. In that case, raise a toast to Elijah Craig. From small batch to barrel proof, there's greatness within. It was named the best small batch bourbon at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, which is an award that's chosen unanimously by a blind tasting panel of 40 whiskey experts. Their barrel proof was also named 2017's Whiskey of the Year by Whiskey Advocate. It beat the Scotch. It beat Scotland's Pride and Joy. They've been making it over there for thousands of years probably. Well, guess what? Here in the old US of A, in the Ozarks, that's where we know how to make good Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. The best whiskey on God's green earth. Visit ElijahCraig.com. Find a bottle near you today. I will be drinking Elijah Craig this weekend, as I always do. I love Elijah Craig. Love the fact that they're a sponsor of the show. I've been drinking it for years, and now they're finally on board. So shout out Elijah Craig, and if you guys want to enhance your football watching experience, what better way than getting some Elijah Craig Kentucky bourbon whiskey? Part of My Take is brought to you by Elijah Craig Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky. 47% alcohol by volume. Sheesh. Elijah Craig reminds you to think wisely and drink wisely.
Okay, weekend preview. We got Warren Sharp coming up, so we're going to talk some football with him as well. Before we get into the games, though, Joe Judge got in a fight with Mark Colombo. Not true, but we're going to choose to believe it's true. Joe Judge, Football Guy of the Year.
It would be a lot cooler if it was true. And I really hope that there's still some element of truth to it, but apparently he fired Colombo, and then Colombo took exception to that. And then basically they titty bumped. There was some disputation of it, saying that they might not be even in the same building.
Yeah.
So it might have happened on Zoom, in which case, was he hitting like the reaction button, the fist emoji?
I don't know exactly what happened. I just saw the story. Mark Colombo, by the way, Bear for life, but he is, I think, 6'8". I don't know how much he weighs now, but let's call it 280 now. Big fucking guy. Mm-hmm. So Joe Judge, just the idea that Joe Judge would possibly go at an offensive lineman, a former offensive lineman, now offensive line coach, means that Joe Judge has officially changed the culture for the New York Giants, and they are a goodish football team.
Am I crazy to think that it's a good sign That you've got your coach that's willing to fight his assistants.
Yes,
I kind of
probably with tennis balls taped to his hands.
I like that because if I was a Giants player, I look at Joe Judge and he's not really much to be afraid of.
Yeah,
but just knowing he has a little bit of craziness to him, you kind of respect that. So I hope that it's true. As far as coaches go, I would probably have ranked Joe Judge towards the bottom. I think that, but until I learned that he might have gotten a fist fight with Colombo, I would say I could probably beat up Joe Judge.
Yeah, but now that I'm thinking about it, he is a true football guy and like running wind sprints. Joe Judge, let's say this: Joe Judge would not win a fight against Mark Colombo. Duh. Joe Judge probably wouldn't win a fight against a lot of people. Joe Judge would never be scared of getting into a fight.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to get my ass kicked.
He would relish the opportunity to get a little bit of blood on his nose. Via an offensive lineman, 6'8", 300 pounds.
So I'm officially taking Joe Judge off my list of NFL head coaches I think I could beat up. I think the only people that are on the list right now, I want to say Zach Taylor. I think I could beat up Zach Taylor.
Yep.
I think I could trip Romeo Crennel with a cane.
Pete Carroll and his twin.
At the same time?
Yeah, they're old.
I think Pete Carroll's a biter, though.
They're very old.
He's a biter. I could not beat up Kyle Shanahan. I used to have him on my list, but I feel like he's too flexible.
Andy Reid, you could just kind of run around with maybe a thin rope and just like lasso him, and then he'd topple over.
I think if I got in a fight with Andy Reid, I would get close to him, and I'd just be like, I can't stay mad at you. And I'd end up hugging him.
I could beat up Matt Nagy for sure.
Yeah,
I'd just be like, dude, your play calling sucks.
I could not beat up John Gruden because Deuce is right next to him at all times.
And he's also just a badass.
Yeah, Deuce. Well, Deuce is like his pit bull that he has like on a leash next to him, ready to attack at any given time.
Bruce Arians, you could take. We could pretty much just take all the old guys.
I would just hide all the liquor from Bruce Arians and let the DTs take care of it.
I think that actually would be bad. He'd probably get so angry that he'd fuck you up.
No, his body would go into a state of convulsion.
Yeah, that's
have
true.
A seizure.
All right, let's do some games real quick. Anything we want to talk about? Let's start Eagles-Browns. All I'm going to say about this game is this feels like a game that the Eagles are going to win for no reason other than that they have to win a game that's important at some point along this way.
I looked up the weather. It's still going to be Cleveland weather.
Yep.
So they've got God on their side right now.
But doesn't it feel like the Eagles, eventually they have to win an important game?
We keep saying that. And they keep
I will probably die.
It.
They might be my Falcons of 17, 16 it was, where they haven't played their best game yet. Eventually the Eagles have to play a good game.
I don't think it's this week.
Okay.
I like Nick Chubb too much.
Yeah, even though he fucked us over. All right. Falcons Saints, Jameis.
Yep.
Jameis
is going to eat this weekend.
I don't care. Just let him. The only thing I'm worried about is that that Sean Payton says we need Jameis to run Drew Brees' offense. No, you need Jameis to be Jameis.
Well, what I don't like is that they've got Michael Thomas back, and they're trying to incorporate him a lot into the game plan. And I can't think of a wide receiver that fits Jameis Winston's skill set less than Michael Thomas.
Correct.
Just running slants, just going as close to linebackers as possible.
Bad.
Yeah, just
stay away.
Just tell him,
Jameis.
I know that your captain slant, run straight downfield every time.
Go deep. All right, Bengals, Washington football team. Kind of a who cares game, but maybe the Washington football team wins, and then all of a sudden they are back.
This is one of those games where both teams have it circled on their calendar at the start of the year as a surefire win.
Yes. Same with this one, Lions-Panthers. I feel like both teams are like, oh, this is going to be a win. Mm-hmm. Probably not. Although, no Teddy, and also, how do you handicap Matthew Stafford's wife going viral?
That's true.
And then apologizing. So then going re-viral.
PJ Walker, XFL legend, getting the start. I think he was on the Houston Roughnecks, right?
Yep.
The second best team in the XFL. I like the Panthers in this.
Okay.
I like Rule. I think Matt Rule is a much better coach.
I mean, you can always Matt Patricia's stupidity can always surprise you. Mm-hmm. Always.
This is another example of how we're losing Matts when it comes to the quarterback position, but we're gaining tons of Matts on the head coaching side to even out the universe.
You guys say that I'm hard on our friends. Where does the line get
Matt
drawn?
Patricia our
Matt
friend?
Patricia's our friend.
Came on the podcast.
Yeah, he did.
Spent the whole time.
So did Martin Shkreli.
Berating our posture.
Mm-hmm. He did.
I've got great posture.
I don't hate him. I just think he's a defensive coordinator.
I was just curious. I was just checking.
I think that Matt Patricia is without a doubt the dumbest rocket science on the face of the earth right now.
Can I say something that's very depressing, but I'm going to say it, and I fully believe it. If the Lions win this game, my itty-bitty run would come true. so they would be 5-5 on Thanksgiving Day. But I think if the Bears lose on next Sunday to the Packers, I'm officially in. I know the Bears can't get a good draft pick, but rooting for the easiest schedule.
Okay, that's good.
Last in the NFC North to get the easiast schedule. That will now be my new slant. Be like, well, if they get a quarterback, things could bounce their way. They could be back in 2021.
That's a big spin zone.
Steelers, Jags. Just a reminder, because it needs to be said, the Steelers are 1-10 against the spread as a double-digit road favorite under Mike Tomlin.
So Jake Luton, we're doing the Jake Luton dance.
You just gotta take the Jags against the spread.
I'm starting to embrace the fact that the Steelers are fun. We'll talk a little bit about that with Warren Sharp in a little bit. But the Steelers are a fun offensive football team, and it's taken me like probably 2.5 years of them actually being electric on offense for me to accept that fact.
Yes. Titans Ravens. This is the official wheels fall off bowl because the loser of this game. The Titans go and play at the Colts. The Ravens go and play at the Steelers. The loser of this game will be facing 3 losses in a row right in their fucking face.
The loser of the game is absolutely fraud. I think Baltimore wins, and I think they win easily because the Tennessee Titans, they just stink. They're just.
Listen. I got a lot of shit for saying that back in September.
I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit that I was wrong about the Tennessee Titans. They stink right now, unless they turn into feed Tractor Cito. It is Tractor Cito season, right? Are we going with that?
December,
mid-November.
Mid-November should be. Yeah,
it's typically when Tractor Cito.
Calais Campbell, if he's not playing, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. That's a problem. Patriots, Texans, Hank.
Easy.
Are you worried at all that the Patriots are part of my Can't Lose Parlay?
No, I love.
Are
Can't
you sure?
Lose Parlay.
Can't Lose Parlay has lost a lot recently.
It's due.
I think
it's a Patriots runaway 10+.
Okay, the Can't Lose Parlay real quick. I'm going back to the roots. It's all money lines. No fucking around with anything. It's the Patriots. It's the Chargers. It's the Vikings and the Chiefs.
Oh, we got a hold right now.
You love the opposite of all of those.
We have a hold in Arizona, Seattle.
Yeah, you love the Jets.
That's probably a win.
It's a safety.
The Vikings play the Cowboys.
That's probably a win.
Okay. And the Chiefs are my.
I think this is the best Can't Lose Parlay of the season.
Wow, yeah. Hank, I like the positivity.
I like pretty much every other underdog. Though.
It's also set up that. That safety was huge for the point spread. Huge. Hank, sorry. Billy, sorry.
Very happy about that safety. Ecstatic about it.
We're gonna time travel. You're gonna hear us talking about the end of the game at the beginning of the game. All right. Next up, Dolphins at Denver.
I kind of like the Broncos in this.
Okay, I have a couple stats for you.
Tua in the altitude. Has Tua ever played this far above sea level in his life?
Ooh, good question.
Oxygen.
I do not know.
Yeah.
I do not know. 2 stats for you. Denver. This is just a stupid stat, but I love stupid stats. Denver, 0-10 against the spread since 2005 when hosting Florida teams.
Okay.
That's
all right.
Significant.
That is significant.
That's a significant stat.
Because when you think about how great Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville have been over the last 10 years.
That's a stupid stat.
Huge. But think about it. Like Tua grew up in Hawaii.
Yep. They have mountains, though.
Played in the SEC. They've got volcanoes. I don't think they have any football fields on top of them.
You could toss one around.
We'll have to see if they do have a football stadium on top of an active volcano there.
Yep.
He played in Alabama. Obviously, SEC, there's no real... Rocky Top is probably the highest elevation?
Yep.
I'm not going to fact check it, but it sounds true.
Yep.
And now he's in South Florida.
Yeah.
I think this is his first time dealing with low oxygen.
Okay.
2 years ago, the Natty was in Santa Clara.
No.
That's
not close to Colorado.
I'm going to guess
not
that's
even close.
That's very close to sea level.
Very close. Very close.
They should
you just take the 405.
They should put one of those little oxygen meters on his finger during the game because I bet that sucker dips below 90.
Yes. And then here's stat number 2. So since 2006, that's when QBR was created. Drew Lock is on pace for the 426th out of 456th worst QBR ever.
Of any quarterback.
Yes. There's been 456 QBRs ranked, so I think there's have to play a certain amount of games. And Drew Lock would be 426 out of 456.
Now do the fourth quarter only.
He's number one.
Much higher.
He's number
Much
one.
higher.
Drew Lock, garbage time king.
Also, he's still going to be hungover from watching the Yeezy Gucci Mane versus.
Yes. All right, Jets, Chargers, Justin Herbert's hair. That...
I didn't mind it. I did not mind Justin Herbert's hair.
His hair was the defining thing. His hair was like, ooh, his hair looks cool.
I like that now.
He's a good hair guy.
He looks like he plays Clint Eastwood's son in a movie set in the 50s. I like that. He looks like a bully.
Troubled youth.
Yeah, he looks like
what I would say.
He looks like the older brother in Stand By Me right now. I like it, and I respect the fact that he had his strength and conditioning coach buzz his head with clippers, and he didn't go.
Okay, that changes it.
He didn't go to the team doctor, which is smart because his head would have looked like John F. Kennedy's afterwards.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Okay. Packers, Colts.
What, Billy?
He kind of looked like Brendan Daisy.
He did.
A little bit. He had a little bit of a vibe of like, hey, this kid, like he kidnapped a 5-year-old and bashed his head in with a rock.
But all business, though.
Yes.
But all business.
Send Justin Herbert to WrestleMania, please.
Packers, Colts. This is actually just I'm excited for this game. It's a big test. I think this is we will find out who is a good team out of these two teams.
I feel like I've been saying that every week about the Colts.
Yeah, but this is a real I do think the Colts will have issues with Aaron Rodgers, but vice versa. I think the Packers defense is going to have some issues with the Colts offensive line. I'm excited to watch this game, and it's a late game. Hank, you have 4 late games. Is that okay?
That's great.
Okay. Cowboys, Vikings.
I'm going to withhold judgment until I know if the roof's open or closed in that.
Okay, fair.
Roof closed.
Totally
I like
fair.
the Colts. Roof open. I like the Packers.
Totally fair. Cowboys, Vikings. Vikings better win by 100 because I have them in my Cant Lose Parlay, and also to get the truck.
This might be a letdown game. This might be
From the Bears?
Yeah.
I mean, sure. It also, I do think this is one of my dumb theories, but I do think when you play a good defense and then you play a bad defense, everything just looks easier and everything feels easier. So I think the Vikings will have a lot easier time.
I don't know. I like the Vikings. Taking the Vikings.
Yeah, no, I am too. All right, and then last Chiefs-Raiders, the bus game. So the Raiders took victory laps around Arrowhead when they beat the Chiefs, and apparently the Chiefs are perturbed by that. I do think that Andy Reid off a bye, and this is right when we're going to start being like, oh yeah, the Chiefs are way better than everyone.
This is a game where Patrick Mahomes throws for 5 touchdowns.
Right. It's the start of the Chiefs being like, yeah, they're the best team in the league.
There are going to be 3 touchdowns this week where it's going to take you 3 seconds after the play is over to be like, is that Mecole Hardman? Or is that one of the other guys that looks exactly like Mecole Hardman?
Wide open guys.
Yeah.
I did love John Gruden I didn't realize this in real time, but against the Broncos on last Sunday, he ran the ball 11 straight times.
Yeah, he loves that shit.
That's awesome.
He loves it, but I don't think that's going to work against Kansas
No, I
City
just
right
respect anyone who does that.
Uh-huh.
I respect any coach that does that.
I like the fact that John Gruden did tell his bus driver to just circle the stadium.
Keep circling.
Like that's the ultimate. They're like, John, we're going to miss our flight.
Yeah.
No, just keep circling. This is too important right
I'm
now.
gonna soak this shit in.
Like buzzards around a carcass.
That was a big win. What were you going to say,
Looking
Jake?
forward to the Al Michaels Vegas references because their first NBC game got switched. The Bucks.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
True.
Is this the first time we're going to get to see Allegiant Stadium at night?
No,
At
because
night.
week 2 we had.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Raiders Saints.
Yeah.
So that was Monday, but
You're right.
Al Michaels.
That's when I
excited.
fell in love.
Spent
Yeah.
the weekend.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I'm excited for that game. Great Sunday coming up. Great Sunday. And just throwing in an extra, if Wisconsin loses to Northwestern, I will be blocking Darren Ravel.
I think that's more than
I'll
fair.
handle them for you.
And I'm excited for Bedlam, and I'm excited for Indiana to still get hyped.
I'm just excited.
Just do it once,
I'm
Indiana.
excited to see the name Penix on the screen multiple times on Saturday.
Just do it once.
What a great
Indiana.
name, that Penix Jr.
Do it once. Do it once. All right, let's get to Fantasy Canadians. A little new spin, and then we will have Warren Sharp and Buster.
It should be, you know what it should be? Fantasy, like A.
Fantasy Canadians.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Hank.
Hey, does he have a last name, eh?
Hey, how are you there?
It's just Buster to me, always will be.
I got to get back in this voice.
All right, boys. It's my name is Spinner Mason.
Spinner,
the
Spinny,
Spinmeister.
the Spinster,
Spinorama.
My stardom is Salt.
Salt.
It's going to get a little snowy here in the coming 5-10 months because it's always snowing up here in Canada.
Yeah,
You're going to need some salt to put on the roads.
Not too
Yeah.
much.
Get from
It'll get
point A to
spicy
point
now.
B.
Nah, not too much salt, and you
Get
can't
from
get
home to
can't
the
get
coffee drink.
can't
Hockey
get
drink.
can't get a good edge with your skate there.
My Sidham,
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon.
Oh, Gordo, taking
Gordy.
a seat. Have a seat, pal.
Big name. He's not much of a driver
Melver.
himself. They're going up against the Dolphins defense this week. If he's on your team, he's a big name, but you want to put him on your bench.
That sounds like real fantasy advice there.
Sleeper is Avril Lavigne.
Oh.
And which one were you talking here? The original or the Newski?
The original. The original is from Canada. She's our home. She's our big
Yeah, she
daughter.
died about 10 years ago back
new-
then.
Yeah, got impaled on Chad Kroger's cack.
No. Avril Lavigne. She is my sleeper. She's a beautiful queen. She
What's
is
your
from
accent? You just
Canada's
lost
finest.
it there.
Is that Manitoba?
Now I'm losing it.
I'm
Far
from
West.
Toronto, eh?
Far West Manitoba.
Yeah. Okay, thank you there. What's your name
Appreciate
again?
it.
Spinner Mason.
Spinster.
All my real Canadians know what that means.
Oh, shit. Did you just do something cool? Something hip?
It's one of these sexy things
I'm
now.
an old guy.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't have the intercourse anymore.
Spinner, like meat spinner?
Spinner, no, one of the
Oh.
biggest playboys in Canada's history.
Oh, wow.
Okay, nice. Hey partners. I'm Wayne McMillerman.
Nice.
I'm starting this
Wayne,
weekend.
Wayno.
I'm starting flapjacks.
You're not good at coming up with fake names, eh?
I'm
Wayno.
Just go to Wayne.
Starting flapjacks now. They're good as gold.
He actually said he had a great name. He
Wayne-
said, I need to do it because I got a great name.
Wayno McMillerman. We got flapjacks on the menu this weekend at the Wayne House. We call them fluffy syrup pucks, and you flip them, turn them into your favorite shapes. Just a real treat for the whole family. Make a maple leaf of them. Make a silver dollar shape. You name it. It's always good to fill up on chow.
Nice. Little chow, little poutine.
I'm sitting Canadian Thanksgiving. Take a seat now. We've had our turn. We had our turn in October. Now it's time to smile for our neighbors down south when they put their cornucopias on all the score bugs and all the graphics on the local news channel on the transmissions there. It's good to celebrate and to share Thanksgiving with our neighbors to the south.
When is the
Nice.
Grey Cup?
I don't think they canceled that.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. I haven't heard about it.
My sleeper is Chase Claypool. He's Canadian. You know that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, Chaser's Canadian. We don't call him a stealer. We call him a borrower. That's a little Canadian neighborhood
Nice.
humor. That's what
His
we
name
say.
translates to running from a pool of clay.
That's a funny one.
That's a
huh?
good one, Spinner.
Thank you.
Talk about a catch
Spinster.
radius on this guy. I hate to go ice fishing next to him.
Spinster. All right, my what's up, guys? I'm Graham Gordon.
Hey, Grammy Gore.
Graham.
Another
How are ya?
creative name, Gordo.
Oh, you just did a spinster spinner or something. You actually did a real name. So why don't you go frick yourself, buddy?
Watch out. Don't use the TK
I'm
word.
sorry, I got
Oh,
flew
that's
out,
not nice.
flew off the handle there for a second.
Yeah,
All right, my stardom is Luke Wilson. Is he in the NFL still?
No.
Well, I'm gonna start him because I love that guy. He's one of my favorite guys in the world.
You're incorrect now. I believe he just got a tryout for the Pracky squad.
There we go.
The Baltimore Ravens.
I support all the Canadian guys in the NFL, especially the ones that aren't in the
Don't get too
NFL.
nationalist.
All right. What? My Sidham is Timbits. You got to make sure that you get your weight down a little bit before Thanksgiving here, so maybe cut out the Timbits this weekend.
No, thank you. I'll take a pass on your Sidham.
And then my sleeper is don't sleep on this one, guys. Bedlam. It's a little bit of crazy. It's crazy down in Oklahoma. They do this game called Bedlam. They all get wild and crazy, but that's going to be a great game on Saturday, so I'm not sleeping on that one.
If you don't take the over in Bedlam, you're a die-hard sucker.
Yeah, you're
Hey.
a real poo-poo pants.
Hey, how are you guys? It's Bill Muscoot from Saskatchewan. My stardom is poutine. You know, get a little poutine, put the gravy on it.
You don't sound Canadian there. You sound like...
My stardom is Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Are you Russian or are you from...
My sleeper.
Alabama?
Oh, shit, I'm Russian. I'm Russian agent. I'm sorry. My sleeper is the Vancouver Martini, which is just a cup of NyQuil.
That sounds tasty now.
Sleepy.
Stay healthy. That's my COVID cure. There's a nice warm teaspoonful of NyQuil that'll cure what ails you. Sleep like a baby.
There it is. I think the food's getting called here. I'm getting a phone call. Should I pick it up? Hello there. Hello there. Oh, okay. We'll be right down, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, see you soon. All right, well, I guess that we're going to have to eat the food. Yeah. Let's, that's Canadian Fantasy Canadians.
Fantasy Canucks.
Fantasy Canucks. Let's though. We'll see if that works. I don't know. I always like doing the Todd and Gordo voices. We haven't done it in a fucking long ass time
Since the Super Bowl last year.
Since a long ass time. Shout out our guy Greg Kittle. All right, let's get to our interview. We have Warren Sharp, little football talk, and then we are going to do James Buster Corley.
Just Buster.
Buster.
He's Buster.
Did I say
know
his
him as
name right?
Buster.
Corley.
He is Buster from Buster's.
James Buster Corley. Awesome interview about Dave and Buster's and the creation of the greatest restaurant of all time.
But before we get to Buster, I want to talk to you about our great friends over at Bose. They've got a new product, Bose Sport Earbuds. They're designed to deliver Bose lifelike audio and a comfortably secure fit. They sent us some Bose earbuds a couple months ago, and these things have actually changed my life. They've changed my life. They're easier to put in. They're easier to wear if you're trying to fall asleep, maybe listen to a podcast. Way better to have these earbuds in than to be wearing big Bose headphones, which are great for the gym. But the Bose Sport Earbuds will stay comfortable for hours. They'll stay in place no matter how much you move. They've got proprietary acoustic ports and premium drivers, so your music is super clear. It's balanced whether you listen loud or you listen soft. They make my music sound amazing. The sound gets me motivated to push my limits. You can wear them when you're on a bike. You can wear them when you're at the gym. I've worn them on the Peloton. They fit perfectly. They don't come out. I've worn them for workouts. The touch controls are super easy to use, and when you use them for phone calls, they sound super clear. You can learn more if you visit bose.com/barstool. That's bose.com/barstool. These earbuds are my new favorite product that I use, and I use them almost every single day. That's bose.com/barstool. Check them out. And now, here is our good friend, Warren Sharp.
Okay, we now welcome on our good friend, Warren Sharp, at Sharp Football. You can find him on Twitter. He has sharpfootballanalysis.com, sharpfootballstats.com. He's got a podcast on The Ringer. He's on NBC Sports. He's all over the place. We're going to talk a little football. We're going to kind of, we do this every month, catch up with what's going on. So let's start with, and we're taping this on Thursday night. We're going to run it on Friday, so it's before the game tonight, the Seahawks-Cardinals game. But let's start there. Obviously, this can all sound outdated, but we've been talking about it. Russell Wilson has not looked great the last few weeks. The Seahawks defense is abysmal. What is the fix for the Seahawks, and is there a fix?
So I don't know the fix on defense. I do know that the last time that they played the Arizona Cardinals, they did not have Jamal Adams. So Jamal Adams being there might help a little bit. You obviously have to try to do your best to contain Kyler Murray and prevent him from running the football and doing damage on the ground. So Jamal, they could try to use Jamal as like a little bit of a spy because they have been playing him down in the box a little bit more. But it's tough on that side of the ball. I really don't know if there is a legitimate fix because their personnel are bad. So I don't know really what you can do to fix your personnel issues. What you can do offensively, though, is help your defense a little bit by making that opposing offense more predictable. And that's, you've got to get these leads and maintain them. And they've obviously struggled to do that since they came off the bye. I remember them heading into the bye and they were undefeated. And I was like, wow, they've got an early bye. It's only week 6. I wonder how they're going to deal with that because they were rolling up until that point. And, they said, well, we like it. We like because we think we're going to get guys back healthy. But they've dropped 3 out of the last 4 games since they came off that bye. The only win was over the 49ers, who were terrible, very injured. And Jimmy G left that game. He was playing hurt to start with, as it turned out. And he ends up leaving that game. I think part of their defense is going to look a little bit better when you get past this Arizona game. Because once you're done with this Arizona game, you're going to play 4 teams, 3 of which are from the NFC East, that should make your defense look a lot better. The Eagles, the Giants, and the Washington football team. You also have the Jets sprinkled in, so a little Adam Gase action. So I think the defense is going to look a little bit better from that perspective. Offensively, they look good their last game out against the Arizona Cardinals. In the first half especially, they had a 10-point lead at halftime, only had 3 third down attempts and like 18 first downs, which is really good. We want to stay out of third down. But the problem for that game later on, and then for the last couple opponents, is that one of the things that teams are doing against Seattle is not crowding the box on early downs. They're daring the Seahawks to run the football. So they're playing coverage, and they're like, we know you guys have changed up this year. You want to pass the ball a lot more on early downs? Fine. We're going to flood the coverage. we're going to dare you to run the football. And it's going to be up to Pete Carroll and to Russell Wilson as to how much they do want to say, fine, we loved passing, but we got opportunities to run the ball here. So that'll be interesting to see tonight against the Cardinals as well as over the next couple of games.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to their running game, they've been minus Chris Carson for a while. He's a really good running back. I've had like a weird little obsession with Chris Carson ever since he was drafted. I always thought since that first preseason game, like this guy is a top 10 running back in the NFL when he's healthy. He's not healthy that often, but is the reason that the Seahawks aren't running the football because they don't have Chris Carson as backups are like that significant of a drop-off, or has Pete Carroll just taken the whole like let Russ cook thing and just over-adapted, and that pendulum's going to take a while to swing back?
Well, I don't know how long. I hope it takes a while to swing back. I hope it's not something that happens suddenly, because this is what they needed to do for a while now. I mean, last year in the postseason, Chris Carson was also injured, and they were still running the ball in the playoff game with Travis Homer and Marshawn Lynch. I mean, I don't know what they were even thinking at that point in time, and it's crazy to imagine that team still was run heavy on the road in Green Bay in the postseason, and now they completely flipped the switch. But I've been begging for them to do this exact thing for a couple of years now. Is you got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Let him throw the ball on early downs. You need to try to build leads. Stop trying to come back in the fourth quarter. So without Carson, yes, runs are less efficient. It's still, though, it doesn't necessarily matter the exact running back. And we see that with the Carolina Panthers without Christian McCaffrey and how well Mike Davis has been doing. More of an impetus is on when you call the run. And if you call a run in a smart situation to run the ball, which is when the box is light or down in the red zone or in short yardage situations, that is when you're going to have the most production. It doesn't necessarily matter who the back is. Some guys are obviously more talented than others, better at breaking tackles than others, so you might get a little bit more production there. But I think that as long as they're calling runs when it's efficient to run the football and not running into stacked boxes on first down, they still should be somewhat successful. But you're right, getting Chris Carson back will make a difference for them.
I want to talk about the Steelers real quick, because I feel like when we talk about the Steelers, we always give a lot of credit to their defense, and their defense is good, and they've been good for a while. But they're sneaky, kind of a fun offensive football team. And you don't always think about that when you talk about Pittsburgh Steelers offense. You know, back in the day, it was just like, give the ball to the running back, get 4 yards, repeat until you win by, 20-17. But they're putting up points. Has Mike Tomlin done anything significantly different in his play calling this year as opposed to years past? Obviously throwing away, the games that Ben Roethlisberger wasn't the quarterback last year.
Yeah, well, they brought in a guy named Matt Canada, and you guys know him from college because I know you guys are college football hounds. And so Matt Canada is really good with pre-snap motion. Now, they're still hardly using any play action. I still don't quite understand how they can't improve that usage because they're one of the worst teams in the NFL at actually using it. And then when they use it, it's basically like a throwaway type situation. They could design some things to make that part of the game plan a little bit more efficient. But what they are doing more of is a lot more pre-snap motion, and they've got more wide receivers out on the football field, because they've got some good wide receivers. They're actually healthy right now, so that's when you would want to use them. And so Ben's becoming more of like a facilitator and a distributor of the football. Is working out really well for that offense. Granted, they haven't played too stiff of competition, but let's just take, we talked about the play calling of the Seattle Seahawks, and I focus a lot on play calling because players definitely help win and lose games, but game plans themselves can help win or lose games before the games even start. And one of the things that I loved about the Steelers from what I saw last week is, you guys remember Ben Roethlisberger had those double knee, whatever happened to him in the Dallas Cowboys game, where I love the picture that Big Cat always tweets out, where Ben's wrapped up with the ace bandages and ice packs all over himself anytime he starts talking about his injuries. But he left the game for a little while, comes back, wins the game in Dallas, but he's dealing with these double knee injuries. Then he's on the COVID list due to close contact, so he's not even at the facility, he's not even practicing the entire week. Now, some coaches may take those two things and say, well, maybe we should design a little bit more of a run-heavy game plan. And then other coaches may also look at the weather forecast and say, man, it looks like it's actually going to be pretty windy. There's some gusts here in the forecast against the Bengals last Sunday in Pittsburgh. Maybe we should factor that in along with our quarterback not even being in the facility and design a more run-heavy game plan. But you know what the Steelers offense did? They went 75% of their plays were passes through the first 3 quarters of that game. They were up 22-7 at halftime, and even in the third quarter of that game against the Bengals, they still passed the ball on 76% of their offensive plays. This shows me that they know, a run game's not great, and we're not going to force the issue. Their pass defense sucks. We're going to pass the ball because we've got a good quarterback that we trust. And Ben was playing well, and they continue to pass. So I think that's a perfect example of designing a smart, intelligent game plan before the game even happens, not getting scared, not doing the conservative thing, but attacking the opponent's weakness, which is the Bengals' pass defense and their pass rush, which is terrible, which I think is going to help Alex Smith a lot this week. I'm actually excited to watch your Washington football team this week, PFT. But I think the Steelers are a legitimate team, and right now they are in a dogfight with the Kansas City Chiefs for that single possession of that first round bye. There's only one this season, and only one of these two teams is going to get it. There's only one loss between them thus far. Great rematch game Sunday night in Las Vegas for the Chiefs, and obviously the Steelers need to avoid a look ahead against the Jacksonville Jaguars team, because next Thursday they host on Thanksgiving the Baltimore Ravens. And that game is going to be massive, obviously, for their ability to win the division as well as futures in general and them getting the first round bye. They can't afford to look past lowly Jaguars to take it on the Baltimore Ravens on Thanksgiving.
Matt Canada was the guy who put up 70 against Nebraska in the Big Ten championship game when he was offensive coordinator for Wisconsin for a single year. He basically took the play calling away from Brett Bielema, and they put up 70 on Nebraska. All right, so you mentioned the Ravens. I assume you heard the interview where Lamar Jackson essentially said, like, defenses are calling out our plays beforehand. Do you see that with Greg Roman? Because something similar happened in San Francisco when they were explosive, new, innovative with Colin Kaepernick. Then it kind of regressed a little. Is that happening right now, or is it more that they just don't have the talent, wide receivers, missing pieces on offensive line, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, it's a combination. I think they need to change their philosophy a little bit. I wanted to see the start of the season a little bit more ability for Lamar to come to the line of scrimmage and audible based upon how many men were in the box. And if he's not getting favorable looks, get out of those plays. But so often Lamar comes to the line and just, they just call the play that whatever's been called, regardless of how the defense appears to be matching up with them. So that would help. But I do sense a little bit of the predictability. But sometimes it's like the defensive players are just guessing right. And it's not necessarily giving them that big of an advantage, but it's enough to make the quarterback frustrated, which I think that Lamar is. The other thing that defenses are doing differently this year is they're playing a lot more man coverage. And so they're trying to give extra defenders the ability to get into the box as necessary and making Lamar beat them in man coverage. And Lamar is great in zone when he can use some of those play actions and find guys in the gaps in the zone and hit them. But in man coverage, it's a lot more difficult when guys aren't reacting to the play action. And it's also a lot more of a challenge for him because you're down some of the key blockers that you have in the run game. So your runs are no longer being quite as productive. They actually need to be passing the ball more on first down. They have one of the highest run rates on first down. Lamar, this may surprise you because it surprised me. If you look at the numbers themselves, Lamar has better efficiency when he passes the ball on first downs this year than he did last year, but the team is running the ball more this year, and the runs are far less efficient than they were last year. They're down a run blocking tight end, Boyle, who just got hurt recently. They were down multiple offensive linemen because some got hurt, some weren't here for this season. Yanda wasn't here, so they've got new pieces there that weren't there to start the season as well as last year. It's something that they're going to have to overcome. But I think this offense is still a work in progress, trying to make up for some of those losses in personnel and adjust to the adjustments that the defenses have made to try to slow them down.
Makes sense.
What about down in New Orleans this week? It's going to be interesting because Drew Brees is out with a shoulder injury. Right? Correct?
Shoulder and
a really bad shoulder injury.
And maybe Sean Payton punctured his lung.
Maybe a bruised rib. But it's interesting because they've got obviously Jameis and Taysom, and last year we saw something similar where Teddy came in and he was the guy. It was like a mixture of Teddy and then Taysom, and it was a little conservative at times with Teddy. But are they going to see this matchup with the Falcons and be like, we're going to let Jameis cook or whatever let Jameis eat? Are they going to let Jameis eat against this Falcons defense, or is it going to be pretty conservative?
Well, I will tell you, interestingly, today, Alvin Kamara was not at practice, and I heard that he was limited on Wednesday with an ankle. So it's going to be interesting if he can go, because he's the type of guy, even though he's a running back, completely changes the game plan, right? Like you can try to work around not having Michael Thomas as a receiver, but Alvin Kamara does so much on both the run and the pass that it will be very difficult. So I'm still optimistic that he's going to play. I've heard nothing to say otherwise, but anytime a guy practices one day and then the next day he does not practice, not necessarily a great sign for his availability, but we'll pretend for the purposes of this discussion that Kamara is up there, because we haven't heard that he's not. It is going to be much different having a quarterback like Jameis than Teddy, because I feel like Teddy really falls in line with what the coach wants to see happen, where he wants the read to be, where he wants that ball thrown. And pretty much like managing the offense the right way. Whereas I feel like Jameis wants to prove himself a little bit more.
Right. I know it's just, yes, Jameis is a wild stallion.
Yes.
That's a very diplomatic way of putting it.
Be himself.
Teddy listens to his coaches and will make good throws.
And sees linebackers.
And Jameis is Jameis.
Jameis is Jameis.
I'm excited to see Jameis in a full game with the LASIK, though, because maybe we see a totally new eyelid gets turned over here, and we get to see a much better Jameis. But there's no doubt they're going to have to dial things back a little bit more, because you're right. You can't, if you don't have Drew there, you can't turn the ball over. And this Falcons defense, that secondary was very young to start the season. Then they had a bunch of injuries. Some guys missed some time with COVID issues as well. They're getting healthy, and they're really playing hard under their interim head coach. And I think they're doing a really good job. Much different defense right now than they were at the middle point of the season. And it's not going to be a step over for the Saints without Drew Brees to really take it to them.
Yeah, Raheem Morris, they are playing a lot better defense. Give us, and you're going to make some people mad, but that's okay. Give us your fraud alert teams. Give us a couple teams that their record is probably looking okay, but there's some suspect things going on. And it can be simply that they just don't have enough to get to the Super Bowl. So it's not saying they're not going to get to the playoffs, or they're going to, not whatever. They can get to the playoffs, but you see some things that are going to rear their ugly heads when the rubber meets the road and they get to January football.
Well, it's more difficult right now because it was a lot easier a month ago. I did call out the Tennessee Titans at that point in time. I got some flack after that as soon as they won a game, and they really haven't looked all that great since that point in time, right? So I'm not going to come back and say I was right, but I do think the Titans are a team that needs to change their philosophy a little bit when it comes to run pass. When they go up against a good run defense, throw the ball a little bit more on early downs. And you may see that it opens things up for Derrick Henry later in the game. He always seems to turn it on later in the game anyways, but don't get yourself in a hole like they were doing at some points to the Colts. Remember that game last Thursday against the Colts? They came out and they threw the ball on the first drive to work the ball down the field. They had 3 first down passes to work the ball down the field. Only 1 Derrick Henry run the entire drive, put up 7 points. After that, they went 60% run the rest of the way, and their runs were not very effective at all. They got themselves in a hole. The same type of thing happened against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is a team, when you're talking about can they go the distance in the AFC in the postseason when you might be facing some teams like that, like the Colts or like the Steelers, you've got to come out throwing the ball a little bit more. So I still am going to keep them up there. The Raiders are an interesting team. I can't wait to see what happens this week. I mean, everybody's so upset with this bus situation, and I think this bus situation is one of the best things that's happened this season because we get like a little rivalry, and then we got Gruden blaming the bus driver. I mean, I'm sure you guys have discussed this a fair amount or will, but this has been a crazy situation in Denver. In Vegas this weekend. But I think that this team, I don't know. I like Carr. They had some edges with Carr in the game against the Chiefs the last go around because of the way that the Chiefs defense was playing. They were daring Carr to throw over the top, and he was beating them, and he was doing that. I still don't think that this team is a team that's going to go far in the postseason, even though they're 6-3. A team in the NFC that I would probably say the same thing to. We obviously should at some point.
Packers.
Did you just whisper the Bears or the Packers?
The Bears aren't frauds. They suck. There's a big difference.
The entire premise of asking you this question was to get you to say that the Packers are soft and that the Giants can beat them in the playoffs.
Packers.
I think this game – so I do want to talk about the Bears with you, Big Cat, in a second.
No, they suck. They suck, Warren.
I just want to talk to you about the play calling with Matt Nagy and Laser. But with regard to the Packers, this is going to be a fascinating game this weekend. Will or won't Devontae Adams be able to play? I think that their defense, I know they get a couple corners back, but I think their defense is somewhat soft and finesse a little bit. I think that you can have some success on this defense. Offensively, though, if Aaron Rodgers gets protection against the Colts are set up to stop the run. And they're set up to, with their great linebackers, of stopping maybe your tight ends or your running back passes. But if you have Adams up and if you have Lazard back and playing, I don't know, at least 45% of their snaps, he's going to be on account. He's not 100% healthy. But they're going to be able to attack this Colts defense in a way that most offenses that have played the Colts haven't. So I don't think the Colts have this top 5 defense that no offense is going to have success against. We saw what Baker Mayfield was able to do against these guys. I think the Packers should be able to have a little bit of success through the air here. But in general, I do think that the Packers, while still a very good team, are a team that probably will have a little bit of difficulty when it gets late in the season.
Like that.
Okay, with the Bears, it's interesting because you said Matt Laser. I don't know if that was a
Phil Laser.
I don't know if that was a Freudian slip because when I was watching the game, I was like, they gave up play calling, and it looks exactly like Matt Nagy's play calling. So are they the same person, or was there actually a difference between Nagy and Laser's play calling on primetime?
I was actually more frustrated with what I saw on primetime than I was with Matt Nagy, and I was frustrated as shit with what I saw from Matt Nagy. This is a team that goes out and drafts tight ends. They bring in tight ends. They have a shitload of tight ends on this squad. And if you look at the data, it clearly shows that they're significantly better passing the ball from 12 personnel. What does 12 personnel do? It gives the appearance of a potential run. It also adds an extra tight end to have in there. One running back, 2 tight ends. You're exactly right. And those tight ends can help in pass pro at times. And your offensive line,
not Jimmy Graham.
Good point.
Not Jimmy Graham. You don't want
Are we considering when you do the 12 personnel, are we counting Jimmy Graham, or is that 11.5 personnel?
It sort of is 11.5 because he does not line up in line to run block very often or to even pass pro. But the point remains that these guys are great when they throw out of 12, and they're terrible when they throw out of 11. And so what did they do in the game on Monday night? 33 dropbacks. Only 3 times did they have less than 3 wide receivers out on the field. My mind was completely blown by how heavy they went to 3 wide receivers when your 3 wide receivers aren't even great beyond Allen Robinson, and you're much better passing the ball from 12. The other thing that I want these guys to do, Big Cat, and just pay attention to it the rest of the way, because I know you and I were talking back and forth during the game. The whole concept of play action and throwing the ball behind to the line of scrimmage is unsuccessful. It does not work. Play action gets the linebackers to hesitate in their drop, to come up and stop the run, to keep their eyes in the backfield. When you then throw the ball in front of those linebackers, close to the line of scrimmage, short of the line of scrimmage or close to it, those linebackers are already headed in that direction. The efficiency is much worse. The goal of play action needs to be toss the ball above the linebackers' heads, and that's what they weren't doing. Every single pass was play action, throw it short, and the defense rallies up and smothers them. I didn't understand what the Bears are doing, but I will just tell you this. Don't absolve Matt Nagy just because Bill Lazor didn't do a good job calling plays. The play calling was a problem before. It's still a problem. Just because 2 guys don't call plays well does not make the first guy right. And yes, the team needs a lot of help. And yes, the GM is to blame for most of this. But I still feel like this team is wasting a defense completely, and I wanted to see what their offense would be able to do with good play calling. I thought that was going to be Monday night against the Vikings. Unfortunately, it was not.
No, they stink. They stink. All right, I had one last question. The final question is brought to you by Cross Country Mortgage, America's crazy good mortgage company. Go to ccmlens.com/take to learn more about your future home buying experience or refinancing needs, equal housing opportunity. Give us now the vice versa. So a team that is maybe not great record-wise, but you could see them having a good November, December stretch and getting into the playoffs, and everyone would be like, whoa, that was kind of crazy where that came from.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are really only a couple of teams that stand out. So they're pretty obvious to anybody. It's going to be the Minnesota Vikings could continue this run. Now, I was on their under before the season started. I was not surprised at all that they started that way. They do have a somewhat easy stretch for several weeks, and so that's a team that could obviously continue doing what they do. This Dallas Cowboys game, though, a lot of interesting components in this game because you've got a lot of familiarity here. Remember, Mike Zimmer used to coach Andy Dalton, who's the Cowboys quarterback. Remember that Mike McCarthy, who's now Dallas's head coach, for years went up against Mike Zimmer's defense in Minnesota. So you've got like a lot of familiarity between multiple people involved here that have key roles in deciding the outcome of this game. But if Dallas can stop the run, their defense has to do a lot better. They're fifth worst stopping the run on the season. If they can stop the run here, I really think that they're going to be able to exploit some things in this Vikings defense that other teams that have played Minnesota recently have been unable to do. But I'll still throw the Vikings on this list. And then I could easily go and say the New England Patriots could get back on track. But I'm still going to stick with the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they are a disaster and lost that game to the New York Giants. My belief still with the Eagles is that if you simplify life for Carson Wentz, reduce the amount of deeper drops where he's running all around in the pocket and trying to do all these complicated things, just drop back and throw the ball. Let the receivers do some work after they catch it. Get it into their hands. Get it out of your hands. They've got Miles Sanders back. He was a big upgrade. You could see it right away, the punch that he provides running the football that they didn't have without him. Multiple other guys along the offensive line are back. You're going to have your tight ends back. Zach Ertz will be back soon. We already have Dallas Goedert back in the fold. Jalen Reagor's back. So I just think they're getting healthy at the right time. So they're a team that obviously has a losing record. I think they're still a game up on in the NFC due to their record right now because they're 3-5-1.
Yeah,
and the tie. So this could be definitely a team that we're going to see hosting a playoff game. And all I can tell you is this: the other teams in the NFC playoffs are not going to want to go on the road. The wildcard teams are not going to want to go on the road to Philly in the postseason when they're playing healthy, when they're healthy and playing hopefully better than they are now, and have to deal with facing the Eagles there in the postseason.
It's interesting.
They're going to play the Giants. So
yeah, we think the Giants are.
Oh, you got the Giants.
They're decent-ish.
Danny Dimes.
Yeah, they're good-ish.
But I like kind of the stat that you alluded to, like the less time that Carson Wentz has the ball in his hands over the course of a football game, the more likely the Eagles are to win. Like there are some quarterbacks that you think of, like Ben Roethlisberger is probably the exact opposite. The longer he holds on to it and buys time back there, probably the more points they end up scoring. But with Wentz, I like that idea. It's like if you can just get the ball out of his hands and into somebody else's hands, it's safer, and their offense is probably going to be better off for it.
The same thing is true for Washington, not to interrupt you, but just to share this week, because that's your team. Alex Smith, I've studied his dropbacks over the last couple of weeks as a starter, and he's taken a lot of 3- and 5-step drops from shotgun, and those are very inefficient for him. The defense has a lot of time to pressure. The pressure rate's like 40-45% when he's dropping back, and we know, I mean, he's coming back from a horrendous injury. I'm shocked he's even playing like he is and be able to run around like he is. I mean, I think it's almost a miracle, but you're inviting pressure when you do that, and you have a lot of receivers on that team that are really good after the catch. So the goal for them should just be to get the ball out of his hands quickly. It doesn't have to be deep balls down the field. Dial a few of those up, yes, but a lot of shorter passes. Now, the Bengals have been very good defending running backs out of the backfield, so you're probably not going to see quite as many. Like McKissick has just been eating targets left and right. The guy's a maniac because of how much Alex Smith dumps the ball to him. But I wonder if they're going to get a little bit more to the wide receivers and 11 personnel on these quicker dropbacks, get it out of Alex Smith's hands, because one of the things he has not lost, his brain, his decision making, his ability to manage that offense. So utilize that and get the ball out of his hands quickly to minimize the impact of his legs on the game.
I like it. Yeah, use Terry McLaurin. Underrated guy.
Yes, very.
Yes. All right. Anything else we should look for this weekend? Maybe you don't want to give us a pick, but give us a pick.
Well, actually, I'm giving away everything. This is the 1 week of the season that I do a free week. So if you just go to sharpfootballanalysis.com, click the banner at the top, every single thing on the site is free. So all the fantasy, we got write-ups on all of the games already. And then all of my betting recommendations are going to be posted there as well. So there's a few games I really liked. One of the games that I really liked, I actually liked the over in this Washington game. It was at 45. It's now up to 47. But the rest of the games are up there on the site. But I think Washington should have some success throwing the ball and moving the ball on the Bengals. And we know Joey covers. Like Joe Burrow is just going to be chucking the ball a ton. As long as he can deal with that pass rush, as long as he can get the ball out of his hands quickly, I mean, I can't see them scoring too few points to not send this game over that total.
Love it.
Is there one player out there, and this is just strictly to make us sound smart, like one guy that we should look at who has been underused this year that you think if their team focuses in and is able to get the ball in that person's hand for the rest of the year, you're going to see an improvement in the offense?
Wow, that's a good question. So I would have to go with a couple of a team or two that I thought was going to do better. Well, I don't know.
Sprung this one on you.
You sprung this one on me. I would say the Minnesota Vikings need to throw a little bit more to their tight ends. We saw what Irv Smith was able to do in his last game out. He missed last week, but he caught a couple of tight ends. Tight ends are a great weapon for Kirk Cousins. But I will just say this again, and we'll stick with that team. You can't throw the ball too little to Justin Jefferson, too much to Justin Jefferson. This dude is a complete freak, and it just sickens me. And I'm glad my brain finally got here, PFT, because it sickens me to see this offense run the ball first down after first down with Dalvin Cook picking up 3 yards. The defense knows they're going to run the football here. Meanwhile, you got this young buck, Justin Jefferson, who is just destroying dudes on the perimeter of the field, taking short passes, turn them into big gains, catching deep balls, running great routes. This guy needs to be featured more prominently in this offense. You don't necessarily need to take away targets from Thielen. Just throw the ball more to him and stop running the ball on first downs with Dalvin Cook. That's my advice for the Minnesota Vikings.
I love
it. All right. So, Warren, thank you. As always, sharpfootballanalysis.com if you want
free
betting
week
recommendations. Free week over in the Washington football team versus the Bengals, and go check out the rest of them. Warren, thank you. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. Warren Sharp was brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. We call it NHTSA around these parts. They want to give you guys a heads up that there are going to be some serious things that you need to think about this Thanksgiving and these holidays. From November 16th to the 29th, state and local law enforcement agencies across the nation are stepping up their enforcement efforts for motorists who don't wear their seatbelts. Doesn't matter if you're not going very far. Doesn't matter if you're in a rush. Don't kid yourself. There's no such thing as a good excuse for not buckling up. If you've ever used these excuses or any others, you're putting yourself at risk of injury or even death. In 2018, nearly 10,000 people were unbuckled when they were killed in crashes. That's 43% of people killed in motor vehicle crashes that were not wearing seatbelts. There's no excuse. Buckle up. It can save your life. No matter what kind of vehicle you drive, wearing your seatbelt is the best defense in a crash. So buckle up. If you're listening to my voice right now, buckle up. Part of my take is saving lives right now. I'm hoping that at least one person will buckle up and be able to visit their family and friends and get to spend Thanksgiving and Christmas with loved ones because they buckled up. Even when you sit in the back seat, you still need to buckle up. That goes for when you ride in taxis and use ride sharing services too. Doesn't matter if you're not driving, you need to be buckled up. Cops are on the lookout. They're writing tickets, so why take the risk? Seatbelts save lives. Click it or ticket. Do the smart thing. Buckle up every trip, day or night. Click it or ticket. And now, here's Buster.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, very special guest. It is James Buster Corley, one of the co-founders of Dave & Buster's, the most famous place
in the world.
My favorite.
Your favorite. So I don't even know where to start. I guess, I mean, we're kind of awestruck, but let's start here. So
first, let me say I'm jazzed to be on your program. I got to be a fan forever, right? That's it. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm always happy to talk about Dave & Buster's, whatever you want to talk about.
Perfect. Okay, all right, so let's start from the beginning. Can you just give us the beginning, like how it all started and how it all evolved into being the coolest place for games and fun and eats of all time?
Yeah, well, Dave and I started out as business partners, and along the way became best friends. And he is, I'm godfather to his children. He's godfather to mine. You know, we started out, I think it's important that we started out as business partners first, because a lot of times people start out as friends, end up falling out as business partners. So we kind of had to prove up. Not only did we sort of grow up together, but we had to prove up to each other in order to have this partnership last for as long as it did. So anyhow, we had two places next to each other in Little Rock, Arkansas. And he founded, the first one was called Slick Willie's. And Slick Willie's was a big ass, really fine pool hall, beer, pizza, games, early on electronic games, shuffleboard, the whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. So sort of as success insurance, he came to me and said, hey, I want to open a place next door to it. And so we opened a restaurant called Buster's. That was, had full bar, lots of food. It was a, pretty hip little restaurant early on. We were in an old train station, right down the street from the Arkansas State Capitol. So crowd-wise, we had all kinds of people. And in those days, you couldn't have a liquor license and have pool tables. So Slick Willie's and Buster's had to be separate, no common door. But there was a walkway between the two. And in our infinite wisdom, we sat at the bar and watched our guests go from one place to the other. They go over to Slick Willie's for, intense games, and then come to Buster's to eat and drink and back and forth, etc. So we thought, hey, what we need to do is we need to put these two places together.
Yep.
Put them on a bigger scale, put them in a bigger market, and launch this thing on, what we want to do is something that we could replicate, right? So we wanted to be sure that we had something for everybody to do. And we were trying to do something that had never been done before, which is take the amusements business, the games part of it, and mix it with the traditional restaurant business and have that be a seamless presentation of, fun and games, right?
Yeah.
And good food and good bar, right? And good sports. And the sports part got to be a much bigger deal for us. It started out as a big deal, but got much bigger with time. So we decided that we would try to replicate our success in Little Rock. And so we went around trying to raise money, and we looked at different locations all over the country, chasing deals, trying to get people to back us. We had good reputations, or at least good business reputations, and had been successful. And so while we probably got thrown out of more banks than most people have ever been into, we finally figured out how to get the backing, and we did our first Dave & Buster's in Dallas, Texas, right? Which we thought Dallas was like the perfect business town. It wasn't that far from where we were. We understood the market, we thought, and So in 1982, we opened the very first one.
Unbelievable.
I'd say it worked out pretty well.
Genius. You're just next to each other and like, hey,
yeah,
this kind of works.
And I love any story like that begins with a company that kind of evolves out of how to kind of sneak around a law that many would find unjust. You work your way around it, and eventually it leads to something great.
Innovation, yeah.
Yeah, he and I both started out in the business waiting tables. And along the way, he was a dealer in a blackjack dealer in Vegas, and we were sort of early on in the hospitality business when early rock and roll restaurant bar business, USA, whatever. So anyhow, we decided we'd we'd try to put together this combination that would make us so competitive that it's a tough business. The bar, restaurant, sports bar, you name it, anything that's in the hospitality business is really difficult. I mean, you got there are sort of three ways to go in our industry. You either make it big, you lose your ass, and the vast majority of places are in the middle, the sort of you work really, really hard for forever and kind of do okay, right? Mm-hmm. So we have of course wanted to be in the top category of doing something that would hit. I mean, as in a major hit, as in something we could do over and over again. Well, that's all well and good, but you got to get the first one right? So, while it was a pretty revolutionary concept at the time, and the concept is basically, while the appearance is different today, the concept is basically the same. That combination of games, bar, sports, good food, good service, on and on, right? So, we felt like to make it so that it would be very difficult for anyone to copy us, we had to make it big, right? And so our first place was 40,000 square feet, and it was in an old warehouse in kind of a reasonably, it was a pretty good neighborhood, but it was down the street from a bunch of restaurants. But you sort of had to make the corner to get to us, right? So it was in a viable area, but we weren't up there with everybody else, easy to see. So in trying to figure out a way to get people's attention, one of the few things that we could buy on credit, because the radio stations, forget it, they want cash, right? And we bought a huge American flag and a 100-foot flagpole, right? And we put it out in front of our place, put the flag on it because you didn't have to have a sign permit, right? We were actually in the flight path of of Love Field, the local airport. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So 100 feet was as tall as we could take it without getting in trouble with the feds. So we put the flagpole out there, lit it at night, right? And I don't know, maybe it gave us the confidence. Somehow or another, the stars came into alignment. I can't explain it, but it started happening. And once it started happening, then it started happening big time, and then it hit, and then it rolled on from there.
Yeah,
and,
it's the best billboard that you could put up is a 100-foot flagpole. You went as high as you could without knocking a plane out of the sky.
True American dream.
I like that.
That's one thing about being a visionary, right? People say, "Oh, guy's a visionary." Well, let me tell you about my feeling on that one. People have said, "Well, yeah, you guys have a great idea. You're visionary." Well, guess what? The difference between being a visionary and a fool is success.
Yeah.
Right.
If it happens, you're a visionary. You're brilliant, right? Well, if it doesn't happen, you're an asshole. You know what I mean? So there's really, and in our industry,
it's like going for it on fourth down.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank goodness. In our business in those days, because there wasn't anything like it, and it was so damn big, it was a piece of work, mm-hmm. and thank goodness it worked.
Yeah.
And then the $1 million question is, you guys had to come up with the most important marketing aspect was the name. It's Dave and Buster's, not Buster's and Dave's. How did you decide whose name went first?
Coin flip, right?
Well, Dave and I actually didn't name Dave and Buster's.
Oh.
No, it's a true story. And I don't know how many times this has been told publicly, but a very dear friend of ours who did all the graphics work for Dave and Buster's eventually came, once we got big enough, he came and worked for the company and ran our whole our whole marketing deal, etc. But he was a great graphics artist, and he actually is the one that, as we were knocking around ideas over what are we going to call it, we had the rights to some other names, etc. And of course, doing your own place, anything you can think of might be something that might work. You think whatever, and our friend, whose name is Dennis Payne, said, "Listen, man, why don't we just keep it simple? You mean, how about this? How about you did the first restaurant, you called it Buster's. How about this one? We just do Dave & Buster's." And so he actually drew up the first logo, which the first time we saw it, we said, "That's it. That's perfect." So it was somebody else smarter than us, I think, who came with the name, and it's and it stuck.
So I read that it was a coin flip. So are we debunking that myth?
We are. That's in that category of myth and legend, sir.
Okay. All right. Because my question was going to be, what'd you call? Heads or tails?
Well, Dave was the gambler of the two of us, so I probably would have let him call it, and I'd back him up no matter what happened.
Got it. And it's one of those things that I guess if history was different, it was Buster and Dave's, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But Dave and Buster's just always feels correct.
I think it hits right. Dave and Buster's is good because Dave is, the normal name, and then Buster lets you know it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, listen, Buster.
How'd you get the nickname Buster?
Our friend thought that it had more of a natural sound to it.
Yeah. How did you get the nickname Buster to begin with?
Well, that's interesting. It's been from birth, right? And it turns out that it was my father's best friend at the time was named Buster. My real given name is James Winston Corley, right? And for me, a funny story about that is when I was about to leave high school and go to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to be a business person, right? I want to be a businessman, right? I'm going to go into business doing something. And so I went to my father and said, "So listen, Dad, I'm thinking about, when I'm going off to college now, people are going to call me something different if I start calling myself something different. So I'm thinking about something more distinguished. This whole Buster thing is, I just didn't, I think that like Jay Winston would be good, or maybe JW, or how about James W, or what do you think? What do you think?" And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I gave you the name Buster because I figured that if you did right by the name, people would remember you.
Yeah.
If you did wrong by the name, people would remember you, and you'd have to live it right because of your name." He said, "You meet a lot of Jims and Bobs and whatnot, but you're not going to meet very many Busters."
Yeah.
So I said, "Yes, sir," and that was the end of the conversation. So
I love it.
Yeah.
So it stuck, and it's a damn good thing that it did, because I don't think had we called it anything anything other than Buster's, it probably never would have worked.
Also, I love the fact that your name is James Winston, like the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
But Buster's also like a perfect name for anyone in the hospitality business, too, like a bartender or a restaurant owner. It's like Buster. You know what I mean? It feels like you're walking into a place that you know. It's like, hey, there's Buster.
Easy to remember. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Easy to remember.
What's your favorite game all time in Dave and Buster's?
Well, I'm pretty mercenary about all that, really. My favorite game was always whatever took in the most money.
So what was that?
My sport is the bar business.
Right.
You know what I mean? My business is the bar business, and so whatever's good for the bar business, that's my preference. So, but I guess overall, for me personally, I was a big pinball guy, right?
Okay.
But, all right. So later on, as far as the company's concerned, probably one of the things that we did, I think, better than anybody else in the world ever since then, that won't be done again, was a game called Daytona, which was a 8-player Daytona 500 simulator. Some bitch was magnificent. There only, I forget how many of them were built, but when it was licensed with the Daytona Raceway people, the Japanese got so many copies of, they were like, I don't know, like 400 or 500 maybe, if that many, because these things were huge and they were very expensive, right? Which made it cool because just anybody could, not just any little joint could do, a Daytona 500.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had one in each one of our stores, and eventually we had to, because of the way it was licensed, we had to buy motherboards from games that had been, cast out or whatever from other people in order to be able to, because we couldn't get a license to do. They would gear up and build the games for us, but we had to have the original motherboards out of the original games in order for them to be licensed by the Daytona 500 people, right? So we kept that alive for years, and it's a great competitive game, great team sport, company challenge kind of thing. Get a lot of get some friends together and race. I mean, that's probably my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about so I love air hockey. I like playing air hockey, and I don't mean to tell you your business, but I feel like an air hockey table that has chairs on either end would just rake the cash in. Because the worst part about playing air hockey is you have to stand up for a while, and it's tough to drink a beer while you're playing air hockey. But if you had an air hockey table that had like a beer holder and a nice comfortable chair you could sit at, I feel like that's $1 million idea right there. You can take that or leave it.
Well, since I'm not responsible anymore, I'll take it.
Okay, perfect.
Done.
Has anyone told you about the famous Buster guy from the internet that we talked about a few months ago?
As a matter of fact, I was watching that just before. I wanted to get a feel for this. I was watching it just before we came on air, and I'd like to meet this guy.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet his girlfriend.
Yes. Yes. Maybe give him some free. Maybe give the girlfriend some free, gift certificates
for life. Yeah.
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 Ooh, can you do that? Can you make like a
just wave a wand over it and make it happen.
Yeah, like a Dave and Buster's like black card where it's like
it's the only superpower I have. Yeah.
Wait, can we have one? What do we have to do to get one?
No, not yet. But we just met.
I mean, it doesn't have to actually do anything. But if I just had like a metallic card that I kept in my pocket that said like lifetime member Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
What is that? All right, what does that do?
Want that.
What does that
I want
do?
that
You can
thing.
walk in any Dave and Buster's and it's just like free reign.
Oh yeah. This one has a few miles on it. But I picked it because it's one of my favorite, favorite cards, favorite design, etc. So yeah, but no, these things working all over the place. Now you put coupons on them, game points, credits of all kinds. It's crazy.
I love it.
I want one where I can like just show up and at any time, like 4 a.m, be like, open this Dave and Buster's. I'm here.
Nah, you need to be there by closing time to be there at 4 a.m. Not really. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
There was a time, but we're not in it now.
Yeah.
Do you still go like secret shopping at Dave and Buster's?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm afraid they'll put me to work.
Yeah.
Besides, nobody's going to do it exactly the way I would do it or Dave would do it. Not to mention both of us would do it. So, no.
What'd you think about the Always Sunny episode about Dave and Buster's?
The only what now?
Did you watch the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode about Dave and Buster's? You ever seen that?
I heard about it and I've seen the clips. Yes.
Okay. What did you think about that when you guys cross over?
That was like fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Philadelphia was our first big national hit, right? We started out in Dallas, and then we did Dallas. Second store in Dallas, then one in Houston, and then rapid succession Houston, Atlanta, and Philadelphia. And Philadelphia will always be one of my most favorite stores because it was a massive hit, and it is to this day. When we opened it, we opened it in the middle of a very rare blizzard in Philadelphia, and people stood in line for blocks. It's the biggest store we ever built. 70,000 square feet on a pier that sticks out into the Columbus River, right? It used to be cruise ships used to dock there back in the day, whatever. And it was turned into a big warehouse. We took it, split it into 2 floors, did parking on the bottom and our store, Dave Buster's, on top, escalators. I mean, it's still a spectacular store.
I know that,
and one of the biggest, not only physically, but one of the biggest stores by revenue. So anything for me, Philadelphia, I'm good with it. Philly's always got that's where that Philadelphia put Dave & Buster's on the national map over, hey, this is not just a down south Sun Belt kind of thing. This son of a bitch will work anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
it's in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like you've had, a lot of success, obviously, with your business. There have to have been some missteps, some ones that you wish you could have taken back, or some roads that you tried to go down or tried to implement a new thing that didn't work. What's the craziest thing that you thought might work in this restaurant that ended up being like a learning lesson for you?
I tell you one thing that's been one of the best things that ever happened to us was sort of listening to what our customers want, right? And you can't give everybody what they want all the time right now, but if you listen to them, generally speaking, sooner or later they're gonna show you what their preferences are. And originally we weren't big in the party business, as in private party rooms, right? So we had an excess. We had too many pocket beer tables in the original store, and we had no private party rooms at all. And then one afternoon, on the theme of your guests will help you figure out what to do, a group came in the middle of the afternoon, and we get a call from the folks at our front desk who said, hey, we got a guy here that wants to rent, half a dozen pocket beer tables, but he wants to have a meeting. They're not going to play to begin with. They're going to have a meeting first. Well, long story short, it turned out it was a sales meeting, right, and an award ceremony for a sales team from like Xerox, right? And so, we thought, bam, wait a second, perfect, private parties. We need to be in this business. Yeah. So we went out and borrowed some more money somehow and built our first big private events room that we call the showroom, right? And it had stage in it, tiered seating, real curtains. I mean, it looked like a theater, right? And it was for private parties. And that ended up being like 20% of our total business was private parties.
Wow. It sounds like it was the Dundee Awards that inspired you to do this.
Yeah, from day one, we didn't think of it. It was, we just sort of followed did what we did originally. We just sort of followed the lead from the customers and, took it from there.
Are you ever worried about Dave and Buster sharks, like the Busters guys who come in, advantage players who can basically rob you blind by winning games?
There have been incidents of that. We used to have. No, I'm serious.
I know. It's just a funny idea, like for someone who's incredible at like Pop-A-Shot to be like, I'm going to take Dave and Buster's for everything.
Well, there are some people that are just naturally good at this stuff, right? And then there are some people that figure out how to either run a small con or beat you at your own game, right? And we had for a period of time this is true, and this is back in the day. I'm sure they're all fine, upstanding Americans now, but they were a band of gypsies, right? Mm-hmm. They were like, we get to call on Monday, man, the gypsies hit us on Sunday night, that kind of thing, right? And we'd get wiped out, and we had to send guys in to figure out how these guys were beating us, right? Along the way, the systems got better, right? Where we could actually, sort of use the technology to keep people from getting to us as much. Originally, all the games were coin driven, right? And we minted our own money. We had Dave and Buster's chips that really were chips, right? They were like coins. The chips were fabulous because when you put them in the game, it was like Vegas. It had that sound. And when you went to the machine to buy chips, they would clank out. It's like you won it up at a slot machine, right? And Dave was convinced that was part of the buzz. That part of the energy and the excitement of playing at Dave & Buster's was playing with these chips and getting them out of that machine, hearing that, it's just like winning. It's like I put my money in, I won right off the bat. Now I'm going to go out and play them. So we were very reluctant, even though we knew it would be a smart thing to do, or we thought it would be. we were really scared about switching over to, now we've got the silent technology of this. Are people really going to believe there's something on this card? I mean, today you can give somebody a card, they'll believe anything, right? But when it went from something I can hold in my hand to, well, it's magically on this card, you know, we weren't really too sure what was going to happen. We just took the risk. And when we started, you know, asking our customers, so what do you think? You know, is this okay? You good with it? You know, I mean, do you miss the chips? They were like, oh man, this is great. We don't have to haul these chips around anymore. You mean, you know, it's easy. It's fun. It's more fun. We're like, hallelujah, right? So that was like a huge leap forward. It was like to aviation business, it would be like going from prop planes to jets. I mean, after that, man, it was, we could get so much better handle out of what actually happened and when did it happen and what time of day and all that stuff, you know. So right?
That's crazy. This has been fantastic. I guess my only last question is, you guys did at one point in your history, you did like a mock electric chair. Was that a mistake or was that something you were cool with?
That was what Dave deemed to be an attraction. That was a you know, give them something they're going to talk about. You know what I mean? You know, what the hell, you got your family in from out of town, and you know, so what are you going to take them? What are we going to do? And you know, it was just one of those things that it was. That one was an oddity. Okay, it really was. We did a lot of things that were grander, more fun, but that one was just, there's something, I don't know why, but for some reason people sort of just, they're in awe of that whole deal, and some people actually thought it was fun or funny, etc. And I always wondered about it. But
it would vibrate, and there would be like fake smoke that would come out.
Yeah, exactly. People would have their picture taken and stuff. I don't know, but whatever makes them happy was pretty much how we tried to approach how we did what we did.
Yeah,
awesome.
And I want to tell you, in looking through your stuff, I saw some Mark Cuban interviews.
Yeah,
and I mean, you know, he's a Dallas guy, and he's one of my heroes, right? So, congrats on having him as a recurrent guest. I mean, he's one of the most. I can remember meeting him. Dave and I met him just before the season that he bought the Mavericks, right? And he's done so much for the city of Dallas, for the game of basketball, for American entrepreneurs and business, period. The guy's, I mean, besides being brilliant, I mean, he's just done a lot of stuff, and he gets it.
Well, we'll get him into a Dave & Buster's when everything's, you know, when coronavirus kind of goes away, we get a vaccine. We'll get Mark Cuban in a Dave & Buster's with you in exchange for the lifetime cards that you will give me and PFT.
Well, luckily for me, I already know Mark. So
yeah, but we'll get him. We'll get him. We'll do the whole thing together. We'll all get it, and then you'll just slide us the card.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You just basically you just name your price to get that card.
Yeah, I'll pay.
I'm sorry?
Name the price for the card. We'll pay.
Oh wow, I don't know. I'd have to confer. I don't know.
Okay.
I know you've been doing more like leaning into sports recently. Do you guys have a sports gambling partner for when sports gambling becomes legal nationwide? Because we would like to extend the services of the Barstool Sportsbook.
It's an ever evolving concept. So you know, you all are in the sport book business, and who knows where the future may take all of us, right?
That wasn't a no.
It's not a no.
That was not a no. Well,
it's absolutely not a no.
Yeah, absolutely.
We try never to say never and rarely say no.
There we go. We appreciate your time, though. This has been awesome, and we definitely do want to go to a Dave & Buster's with you at some point.
Well, pick a town.
Okay, done.
Pick a town.
Maybe all of them. Fuck it.
Wouldn't that be great? Hey, if you got a plane, I'll go anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, maybe a bus. What about a bus?
We'll get a deal with like Wheels Up to sponsor Grit Week, going to a Dave & Buster's in every state.
Single state. Yeah.
How many states are you guys in?
Gee, Monet, like, I don't know, 27, 30.
That's Grit Week. That's Grit Week.
Done.
Plus,
we'll figure it out.
Plus Canada, plus Puerto Rico, plus, you know.
And I think it's a fact that no state has ever gone to war with another state that had a Dave & Buster's in it.
That's an absolute fact.
Yep.
And we really sort of did Dave and Buster's as a public service.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
exactly.
I appreciate that.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so
Try
much.
to keep everybody chilled, yeah.
Yeah.
That's us.
Thank
Sure.
you so much. We appreciate it, and we'll
was
be in
fun.
touch. Yes. Yes.
This was actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
All right. We'll be in touch. Thank you so much, Buster. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. See ya.
All right. Stay safe.
Take care.
Okay, that interview was brought to you by our friends at Muggsy Jeans. You've heard the name from us before. You've seen me wear them every single day because Muggsy Jeans are the only jeans we wear, and there's no exaggeration when I say they feel like sweatpants and look like jeans. Muggsy was started by a stoolie, actually a friend of a friend back in Chicago 6-7 years ago. He was tired of being uncomfortable in his jeans, and his goal was simple: reinvent men's jeans to look good and feel outrageously comfortable. After 5 years of working with industry experts, he perfected jeans for the common man. The magic is in Muggsy's proprietary denim, which is made from a bunch of high-tech materials that make these jeans mind-blowingly soft and flexible. Even better, Muggsy's come in a stylish fit that's not too baggy but not too tight, so you somehow look even better than you feel. Want to look good indoors for yourself or your partner? Want to look good for your boss on that important Zoom call you have later? Well, then you need to choose Muggsy. Also, Muggsy now has ultra-stretch chinos, perfect for your golf game. Muggsy jeans are sweeping the Stoolie Nation for good reason. Take our word for it. Give Muggsy jeans a try, and you won't be able to wear any other jeans again. Muggsy is so confident you'll love their jeans. They do free shipping and returns, so your comfort is 100% guaranteed. Do your legs a favor. Head to Muggsy.com. That's Mugsy.com to check out Muggsy's full lineup of jeans and safe for work chinos, including new sizes and styles. Use code PMT for $10 off. That's a beer on us and a pair of the most comfortable men's jeans ever made by heading to Muggsy.com using code PMT. Mugsy.com, code PMT. You will not be disappointed with your Muggsy jeans. Okay, let's wrap up the show. Fyre Fest of the week and Billy's parlays of the week. Go ahead, Billy. Actually, I'll start with my Fyre Fest because it can then go to you, Billy. My Fyre Fest is our strongest guy is kind of weak. So I listened back to the clip with Russillo, and I also noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, PFT, but Billy actually said hovering around 285. Which means he doesn't bench 285, which 285 is embarrassing.
I haven't maxed since I was at college, and the whole lockdown, gyms closed. Just
we're in a pandemic. Listen,
so I'm
Billy,
sorry if I'm not that strong right now.
285 is, you know what? Not a good look, my guy. Big yikes. I just hate it when people say that on Twitter. Big yikes, my guy. 285 for a guy that spent 4 years in a weight program in high school and then 3 years in a weight program in college.
Yes.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
So that's my Fyre Fest. I'm very sad about it. It is what it is. Our big, strong guy is not big and strong.
Big Cat sidebar. I heard that Billy is actually a vegetarian now.
Oh, that would make sense.
I changed my diet
don't ever
after the belly football thing, and I lost a little strength.
Yeah,
so you get fat Billy or strong
Billy. He went
Billy.
on a diet and stopped eating meat.
Yep.
Skinny Billy or strong Billy.
Tulsa just hit Hail Mary to tie the game at the end of the game, by the way. That was awesome.
There were 2 separate threads that were started on bodybuilding.com forums this week that said that Billy Football word on the street was he was asking people for vegetarian references.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious.
Dude, bodybuilding forum is sick. Seriously, I get all my information on all life advice there.
Yeah, about science and math and everything from them.
Right.
Before you get into your Cant Lose Parlay, have you learned anything about profits in the past week?
Oh, yeah, no. The profits were calculated into the equation. The problem was that it was a sum equation, not a product equation.
I saw
end of discussion.
Some guy said he was an actuary and was basically like, Billy, everything you said is wrong.
No, okay.
I believe
this
that
is
guy.
The parlay.
He said he was an actuary.
So Billy,
you guys just
forgot
don't want to see me succeed.
Someone sent me the
profits.
DMs that you sent with him, and they're like, he basically explains to you that if you have $100 and you win $22, you don't win $122, and you go, this is a glaring mistake. I'm readjusting the math.
That's what Billy said?
I checked.
This is a glaring mistake.
I checked the spreadsheet and realized that wasn't the reason why I was wrong. The reason was because some odds were put as a sum and not a product. Anyway,
profits are a big part of making money.
This is the can't win parlay for this week. Now, remember, you choose the 5 games, and you choose the 5 underdogs that are most closest to being 50% of the pick 'em. So, for example, the Bengals this week
already lost everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely
Bengals,
no one
Packers,
understands
Rams,
anything from this point
Houston,
on.
Falcons. That's the can't win parlay. So you put 12% of your money on that game.
I'm totally lost already.
Could happen parlay. Bengals, Houston, Falcons. You put 8%.
Why don't you just bet
Could
a game
also happen
straight
parlay.
responsibly?
Packers, Rams, Houston, 7%. Just in case parlay. Bengals, Packers, Falcons. Statistical analysis parlay. Bengals, Packers, Rams.
Billy.
Top hinge duo
Billy.
parlay. Washington, Colts, 21%. And 10% on the statistical
Billy, can you take down
analysis.
this number for me and put this
Bottom
in?
hinge duo parlay. Buccaneers, Patriots.
Billy,
Then you
bottom
moneyline
hinge duo?
all the other teams. Washington football team, Colts, Buccaneers, Patriots, Saints. 4% on each of those, 9% on the Saints. Then on the reverse parlay bet, you put nothing because it's statistically supposed to not hit, but it hit last week,
Okay.
so
So
still
do-
won money.
Billy, let me ask you this: does this formula make watching football just
Go to
impossible?
You don't know who you're rooting for.
I
Do you
know
have
who I'm
fun
rooting
watching
for.
No, you
football?
don't.
I plugged in 32 outcomes, and then you can, once each outcome happens, you see how much money you stand on winning in that moment.
This is big time vegetarian, Billy.
It's
over
not
here.
vegetarian.
Yes,
It's not vegetarian. Don't you call me a vegetarian.
You're vegan and you love math.
No.
What have you done with my boy?
No. This is just go to @BillyHotTakes is the pinned tweet. You'll see all the math, the profits. It's all calculated. It's kind of cool.
Put this number down. Write this number down. 1-800-GAMBLER.
What? I don't. There's
This
like,
makes
actual
no
math.
sense.
It makes
It's
a lot
not
of
even
sense.
fun.
It is fun.
You don't even know who you're rooting
What's
for.
fun
I know
about
who I'm
this?
because I'm rooting for those 5 underdogs to hit, and the more that they hit, the more that you make. But if they don't hit, you also make money.
No, you don't.
You do.
No.
I guarantee with this strategy, you will not lose all of your money.
Correct.
The highest amount of money you will lose on a $100 bet, so the highest you will lose is 86% of all your money, which is not 100, which is better than most people.
But it sounds to me like there's a better than 50% chance that you lose money.
It also just sounds
actually
like
has a 50% likelihood of being positive.
it also
Anyway, we
just
don't have to talk
sounds like
about it.
you want to basically walk away from Sunday being like, but I didn't lose it all. I lost 86% of it, but not all of
You
it.
bet, yeah, you go
Exactly.
to the roulette table and just put a little bit on every single number.
Do you know what you could also do? You could go
No,
1
not
and
really.
5. You wouldn't lose it all.
Yeah, exactly. If one of these hits, you're
right.
going to make money.
Still
Anyway,
makes sense. What's your Fyre Fest? Because mine is listening to that.
Yeah, everyone's chirping me for saying I benched 285 currently.
Hovering
My
around
max,
285.
my max in college was plus 300.
You said
I
hovering
did, like,
around
Billy,
285.
I rep
If it was
295
plus 300, you would
for
know the
4
number.
for my max out because we didn't do one
Right.
rep maxes.
And
Right.
that's a good point that Hank made. What if you knew that you could bench over 300 pounds? You would know that it was like 305, 315. You either hit like 295.
No, it depends on the
once.
It depends on the multiplier because when you
All right,
do
that's
4
enough
rep
math.
maxes
That,
anyway.
Okay, too much math from Billy.
Yep.
Billy, you're,
A max
you know
is
what?
a max.
Billy, you're suspended from doing math for the next week.
Yeah, no, we're taking away your calculator.
Wait until this hits this weekend.
Okay, I will. Why don't you come in on a Sunday and
I'm
work?
coming actually because I don't have school on
Great.
Monday.
We'll
because it's
see
a
you on
holiday week.
Sunday.
I'm
We'll be
coming
on a live
Sunday.
stream.
How many have to hit for this to be good?
Some legit only one of them has to hit.
But you
That's how you calculate
lose
it.
money.
Yeah, but you also
Correct.
win money. Anyway,
It's the profit thing.
All right.
it's not the profit thing.
All right, what's your Fyre Fest PFT?
My Fyre Fest, it's actually for some other people that aren't me, but it is a true Fyre Fest. I read today that there are 300,000 people currently stranded on cruise ships that have been on cruise ships in the middle
Still?
of the ocean since March.
No,
Yes.
that's not true.
300? No.
300,000, including, I think, 50,000. Hang on, I'm looking this up.
No
I think there's like 300,000
shot.
people still
No
on cruise
chance.
ships.
Shot.
Wait, Spin Zone.
No shot.
Spin Zone.
Vacation.
They've been on extended vacation on a
No
cruise ship.
chance 300,000 people.
And I also read that
Where?
cruises are
Oh my
just floating
God.
around the ocean somewhere. Is that a turnover? God damn it!
The Seahawks are a joke.
This fucking
Oh no, they bet. I mean, it's plus the
They
spread's
just fumbled.
3, right?
Why would you run that play?
yeah, but now Arizona's about to score.
Yeah, well,
They're going to score on this drive.
shut up, Billy.
God damn it! Billy's excited because he's winning bets and I'm losing. But there are also the cruise industry is looking for cruise passengers to go on board their ships as guinea pigs. To just see if it's possible to reopen the cruise industry right now. So they're trying to get thousands of people to sign up to be a passenger on a cruise so that they can test the new coronavirus protocols. They're even calling them guinea pigs.
Wait,
in the
there's
press
no
release.
way 300,000 people, though. Like, no way.
That's what I read.
Why are they?
I
asking for
wear.
more people?
It was on a website called barstoolsports.com.
Wait, so why are they asking
Who
for
fucking like KB?
why are they asking for more people if there's already people on ships?
So here's what it says.
Good question, Billy.
As of September, there were still 300,000 people worldwide stuck on ships, 50 of which are Americans.
But like 200,
as of
I bet you
September.
like 290,000 are like actual like fishermen.
On
Like
Only 50 are Americans?
300,000, so many.
It's a ton of people.
That's a ton
I've
of
never
people.
I've never really understood the allure of cruises.
I went on a cruise when I was a kid. It was lit. A lot of soft serve ice cream.
That's where I
It's
learned
for
about the grandma and grandpa bingo.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like it's a fun.
Unlimited soft serve ice cream.
That's a crazy stat. I believe you, but I don't. Well, like
Let's go
it's not
save
you.
them.
It's the stat is so
Now,
insane.
this was also in the New York Post, who sometimes the New York Post writes articles just for the tweet, just so they can tweet it out and get like 5,000 quote tweet dunks on it.
Right.
With the same people making the same joke every time. So it might be one of those situations where they're embellishing it a little bit, but Jesus Christ, I just going on a cruise ship right now. Just, forget about the coronavirus. Who would go on a cruise during football season?
Dude, how about the people who are fucking working on the cruise that are stuck there? That's the people I really feel bad for, not the idiots that went on, like, hey, I'm going to go on vacation during a pandemic. How about the people who have to work?
You know what? This pandemic has probably affected magicians more than anybody else.
Unbelievable.
You can't go on a tour.
and like hack comedians.
Yeah, you can't go on a cruise ship and wow people with your tricks.
It's
You
true.
can't really do a Zoom magic show.
It's true. It's
So
a good
thoughts
point.
and prayers, if you're a comedian or if you're a magician that listens to Part of My Take,
Yes.
our thoughts are with you.
Yes. All right, Hank, we'll wrap it up and then we'll hit the balls.
Yeah, we're playing this Among Us stream at 4 o'clock, and I'm a little nervous about it, if we're being completely honest.
We got this, bro.
Why are you worried about it?
We're just it's not us. It's more just like, you know,
All right.
it was like Cash App asked us to play. They said we'll fill the
Cash
people,
up, cash up, cash up.
and then they proceeded to give us with like the biggest names in gaming, people that have played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of this game. So that's why I'm just a little like
We're good. We
Hank,
got
you're
it.
being sus right now.
You're so sus.
So sus.
You're so sus.
Me and Big Cat will be
Everyone
fine.
tune
If there's anything that me and Big Cat are really good at is doing stuff that we have no idea
And doing
what we're
confidently.
doing it confidently, and then lying about how good we're doing at it. Which my understanding is those are the most important things.
Yeah,
in,
we got this.
amongst us.
We got this amongst us. All right.
They did say if we get over 20,000, they're going to give away a shitload of money.
Okay.
20,000 viewers.
No, Billy, not you, not to you. All right. Numbers.
20.
I feel like someone's going to
89.
get it today.
18.
I'm going to say it. I feel like someone's going to get it today.
18.
20.
I'm feeling good about 8.
73, says Liam.
69.
22. What is it? What'd you say?
8.
20.
22.
I'm always 8. I'm riding with
What'd
8.
you say, Liam? What'd you say, Jake?
18.
Oh, 23 was there, but none of us have 23. Did I say 22?
92.
92. Damn it.
Albert Hainsworth.
92.
Love you guys. Billy, fun fact. Oh, you forgot.
Cats use litter boxes.
God damn.
Then they can cover up their. Okay,
You want to
It's a
talk about
parlay. No, the parlay,
toxoplasmosis?
the fun animal fact has suffered because
Yep.
of the parlay.
Meat, you know what?
Parlays become a problem.
Meat eater Billy would always have a fun
What?
animal
I'm not.
fact.
I totally eat meat. This vegetarian slander is egregious.
Sus.
If I'm a vegetarian, PFT has a personal stylist.
Sus.
Talking away. No, I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Today's my day to find you. Shy away. Oh, I'll be coming for your lover. I'll be coming for your lover. Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. Needless to say, I want to say yes, but I stole it away. So then life is okay. Say after me.
It's for better to be safe than sorry. It's for better to be
Safe than sorry. Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. Oh, remember you shying away. Well, I'll be coming for you anyway. Well, I'll be coming for you anyway. Take on.